Hello and welcome to another episode of Sports and Songs Podcast. We're on season 5, episode number 34. Andy, tonight's the songs edition. We're going to be reviewing an album. How are you?
Doing well, doing well.
June 27th, 2024. We've got a little Judas Priest on the agenda for tonight. We've covered a couple of their albums, not, of course, the one we're doing tonight, but we've got a little Judas Priest here for everyone. So let me bring this up. The album cover is Turbo. Let me get my forms here. You can talk amongst yourself.
Well, this album came out kind of in the MTV heyday for Judas Priest. Videos kind of got their popularity going a little bit more. That and Beavis and Butthead on MTV, kind of like Judas Priest, like their older songs. So this was kind of riding that MTV hairband video wave.
Yes, good stuff. It's the 10th album, and Judas Priest has been around for a while, producing some heavy metal, and this is their 10th album released in 1986, Columbia Records, and it's a noticeable change for the band to a commercial glam metal sound, and it's the first time they used synthesizers for the first time. Now, what are your thoughts on those things, pro and con?
Well, like I said, it was an MTV era. You know, everybody said Kiss did a disco album, and Gene says, no, we just played to what was popular at the time. This is a good album. This is not a Judas Priest album, though.
I would agree with that. I'm not a big synthesizer fan. The keyboards are good on this album. All the songs are very commercial, very radio friendly.
Yeah, it's a good album. It's not Judas Priest, though.
Yes. And so if you're looking for metal, heavy metal, speed, this isn't it. This
isn't British Steel. This isn't Sin After Sin. This is MTV Judas Priest.
Yeah, so it's very, very different. In fact, I would beg anyone who's not a big Judas Priest fan to listen to these songs. You're probably going to know all of them. Not a couple, all of them. They all had, this was once again,
some commercial play, some TV play.
A lot of TV, airtime, MTV. Kids at school were listening to this. Is a
Guitar Hero video games
album. I had a friend in high school at the time who loved Judas Priest, and this was really all he played during about a 4-month period was Turbo. That was it. I mean, this is good stuff. So the previous album was Defenders of the Faith.
That was okay.
Initially, they recorded a double album, which was intended to be released under the title Twin Turbos. That's what they wanted. Now, that's pretty good. I like that. Double album from Judas Priest called Twin Turbos. But they said, no, let's just do... they said half would be commercial, the other half would be aggressive heavy metal. That idea was scrapped. The material was split up, and the more commercial songs appeared on this album. They just called it Turbo.
And this was before Guns N' Roses had Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 and double album sets before that. So this was before all that was a popular thing. They were going to be, again, ahead of the curve on that.
Yeah, it was once, it's not just bands producing music. It was, okay, what does the fans want to hear? What's popular? And hey, let's do that. So very remarkably different from the previous Judas Priest albums. More emphasis on grounded subjects such as love and romance rather than the band's usual sci-fi and fantasy themes. I like that as well. Good album. And it's 40 minutes, 58 seconds. It's considered glam metal and heavy metal. Released 1986. And then after this, they came out the next year with the Priest Live album. And then before this was Defenders of the Faith. So this is their 10th album. And, it was...
And this was right after Rob Halford had done a lot of the drugs and drinking, and his voice was kind of starting to go a little bit. So
Yes.
You hear that in there. You hear it on the live album after this, too. It wasn't his greatest work.
No. But still good stuff. Here's the track listing. Turbo Lover.
Yep.
Very good song. Locked In, one of my favorites. Private Property. I think you're all going to know
that's my favorite right there, Private Property.
Is it? Okay. Hands Off, it's called Hands Off, Private Property. Next song is Parental Guidance, kind of
that's
going
too.
PMRC. and Rock You All Around the World. All of those songs were popular and got airplay, and I think every decent rock and roll fan is going to know every single one of those songs without buying the album.
And Parental Guidance is a good car sing-along song.
Yes. Now, the other side on track, side 2 here, track 6 is Out in the Cold, another good song.
Yep.
And then Wild Nights, Hot and Crazy Days, very commercialized there, popular. Hot for Love, and it rounds out with Reckless. So 9 songs, no instrumentals, no love ballads. Just, it kind of sounds like Bon Jovi, Def Leppard, Kiss kinds of days, back these songs. Would you agree with that? Now, what they did,
instead of the glam metal, it's more MTV metal.
Yes, it's kind of, I got kind of a Twisted Sister feel to it, or Quiet Riot maybe.
Yep.
Listening to it again, but so what they did in 2001 was release the CD edition with bonus tracks with 2 more songs. And then you can get on the 30th anniversary edition, you can get the bonus live CDs, and you can get the songs that were left over from Twin Turbos. But those songs eventually were all released anyway. 4 of the songs were on the Ram It Down album. 1 was on Metallurgy. 2 of them were unreleased. 1 was on the British Steel reissue. 1 was on Screaming for Vengeance, and then the Defenders of the Faith reissue. So when they reissued these albums, they started releasing individually these songs from the beginning of this that were scrapped later on. So interesting stuff. So let's go to the personnel. Judas Priest, we know, is Rob Halford. Vocals. Now, he didn't come out yet. He was still living the lifestyle as a sex crazed drug guy.
The rumors were out there, and everybody was pretty much onto him.
The band would have known, for sure. But yeah, if you go back and listen to his songs, they take on a different meaning. But he came out as gay in '98, or I think something like that. KK Downing on guitars and Glenn Tipton. So your thoughts, Andy, on these two having 2 lead guitars switching off on the songs?
KK wasn't even happy with this album. He was one of their big writers and everything else. Of course, he's got his own solo stuff now with KK Priest, but very good artist. He wasn't even really happy with this. I don't want to say they threw this album together, but yeah, they'll take the checks and cash it from the sales, but they don't really they're not real proud of this album.
Yeah, fair enough. Ian Hill on bass, Dave Holland on drums. And so, like I said, the songs, the personnel, it was very commercial, almost too produced a certain way. It went, let's see, where did it go? Platinum, 1-time platinum or 2 times?
2, and went real fast too, but then everybody realized, like, wait a minute. Priest fans were like, wait, what is this? But then other fans, new fans, were like, well, hey, this was kind of cool. So it spiked high because it was Priest. Then it kind of leveled for a while and had a little jump.
Yes. Good stuff. It was a love-hate. Turbo's a love-hate Priest album, Rob Halford says in an article in Kerrang! Magazine. KK Downing said that it wasn't the big selling album that we hoped for. I think quite a lot of that went on the acceptability and success of a lot of other bands that you look at on MTV. Even Ozzy went to the hairdressers, he said, quote, back then. And so
Ozzy went to the fancy neon colors for a couple of videos.
It just was too much, and that was the era. So they sold out, one could argue, to get the sales. It didn't make the normal fans happy. These guys kind of flung it together. The album is good, but I would agree with you that this is one rather they're proud of.
I was thinking about that today, like how a lot of the bands, like I said, sold out during that time. Kiss kind of did with their Crazy Night stuff. Priest here. One band that I think never did, in my opinion, was the Scorpions.
Yes.
But what they did is they still did Scorpions music, but during this time, they'd release their ballads.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
they took a different
their stuff.
Okay.
Well, for MTV was let's release the ballad. We'll do some of those. So they to me, the Scorps kept true to their form. So did Iron Maiden. So it's like Maiden never sold out to the man. They hung tight. You can even say Ted Nugent did a little bit when he went to Damn Yankees, but
And this was the last album of Judas Priest to ever go platinum. This was,
yep.
all the rest have gone less than this. Rob Halford, like you said, was going through, was struggling. He was struggling with increasing substance abuse. There was a violent feud with his romantic partner. Later, that person committed suicide. So he resolved to get clean and checked into rehab, where he spent a month during December 1985 and January of 86. He made an energetic recovery, and his live performances during the subsequent tour were described as some of his strongest ever. So he's been straight and sober ever since.
Well,
And
he
a
hasn't been
real,
straight.
I mean, sober.
Okay,
Let's clean.
he
We'll
wasn't
call it
straight.
clean.
Okay,
Clean and sober.
there we go.
So, but he is one of the most funny guys out there, a great guy to follow. You have said this for years, Andy.
I've said that he's a great follow on Instagram. Pictures with him and his cat.
Yeah.
And one that's been said too, like him, and this is an argument for another day, but I'm just going to say it to say because that's what we do here. Yes, he has the gay lifestyle, but he's very strong in his faith. So he's got no problem hiding that anymore since the drug and alcohol issues. Some of them kind of had it coming to light, whatever you want to call it. So he's got that. So when he wears this big cross necklace, it's not just jewelry. He means it.
Yeah, he's a big time Christian, very out there, great
And he's with his
personality.
cats. He likes his cats.
Yeah, with his cats. He's just he's
cat sweaters, cat hats.
he's got the big beard, and this was the guy, the small, thin guy with the short hair and the leather outfits for many years. And he said hiding that was so hard that led him to increased drug use. Hiding that, keeping that all hidden led to alcohol abuse. And by the time, I mean, this guy was out of control in 1984, 1985. And so then he gets clean and sober, stays, and a completely new guy. I mean, this is a healthy guy, very positive, leaving a good message, very positive person. But it's still Rob Halford.
When they were at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, when they were there to perform and put in for performance, he gives a speech, and Rob Halford he doesn't hold back. He just says it. And he said it just in 8 words. He goes, "Hi, I'm the gay one." Total tension breaker right there. Got it out of the way there. And that was the thing. When he came out, so many rockers were like, that's Rob Halford, the metal god.
That's why it took everyone by surprise. Yes, it just was a shock for the people not in the business, but for you and I, the people on the outside, the fans,
right?
Yeah,
and to a point, though, you and I at that age kind of helped us in a way. If you weren't already going, okay, so you're gay, so you sing awesome. Your albums are great. What he does out of the studio at home in his own room, that's on him. That's his thing.
It was, for me, it was almost like
nose picker for all I care. I love your singing.
It was almost the Bruce Jenner similar announcement where you have not the perfect man, but everything embodies this masculinity of an athlete as Bruce Jenner comes out later that I don't want to be a woman. This is Rob Halford. Everything embodied in a rock lead singer guy comes out and says, I've been gay for a long time. It rocked the world. But he said he felt so much better by getting that out and then leading his own lifestyle rather than pretending it all. But boy, was that, it wouldn't have shocked anyone nowadays, but back in the mid 90s there, it made a lot of people think, really, what now? Did I hear that right?
It was kind of like when you found out there was no Santa.
Yeah,
you kind of did. You're at that age where it's like, at school I say no because I don't want to get beat up, but I think there is. Okay, I kind of heard stories about Rob Halford being gay, but that's Rob Halford,
Yes. He's a stud. He's the
He's
living
wild.
legend. And then you go back and think, well, wait, now what was all the songs really about now when you mention that? So there was some comedy built into that as well because
Yes.
it made you rethink some of this stuff. But he doesn't care. The guy was a wild, great frontman, great rock
Right.
and roll, heavy metal frontman, great
Yep.
vocals. And he, along with, I was reading somewhere, Andy, it was Dio, him, and maybe Bruce Dickinson, where they started getting to that next level of the next octave higher to get the high
Yep.
vocals that really became then in vogue and popular for later artists to try to reach those high levels. Very hard for a man to hit those notes.
Yep.
Rob was really good. He could hit them all. But that's all I've got for Judas Priest Turbo, 1986.
All right.
9 songs, really good stuff.
You know, I was walking down the street, Oswald and I, and asking
Okay.
people
Yes.
if they listen to the show, and we did get one person's reaction here, and yeah, she is a fan of the show. She says so. That was awfully
Of
nice of her.
course, I always listen to sports and song. Yes,
Yeah.
that's such a nice,
She was a really nice girl.
Nice girl,
Nice
very
girl.
nice compliment.
Yeah, very someone to bring home to meet mom.
To meet mother.
Yes. Got some birthdays,
Okay.
but they're album birthdays.
Ooh.
Twisted Sister, this album came out in 1983. You Can't Stop Rock and Roll. This was before Stay Hungry. So very good album, very underrated album, in my opinion. And also in 86, Queensryche, Rage for Order. So 2 really good albums came out mid-80s during the whole to-do. Then I saw this meme today. I think we've all come across this. My problem is I put my music on a shuffle, and then I get annoyed when it doesn't play the songs I want to hear.
Yes. I've had that just the other day. And it's true. You say to yourself, dang, shoot, skip it over. And then you get the next series of ads or whatever.
Yes. But you don't want to unfavorite that song you're skipping over because you want to hear it later, but I was kind of, All right, here's some concerts. We got concerts coming up. August lineup at the Amphitheater in St. Croix Casino. Heart of the City, August 3rd. Bone Thug and Harmony, the 9th at 7 p.m. John Anderson, country artist, going to be the 16th of August. Grand Funk Railroad, the 30th. You can see Bruce Kulick down there, former Kiss guitarist, playing with Grand Funk Railroad, I believe, still every now and then.
Okay.
And then the 31st, the 70s Magic Sunshine Band. So halfway there, Bon Jovi cover band. Now, this is some of these dates are in the past, yes, but here's their 24 tour dates coming up. July 12th at Ziggy's in Hudson, Cabin 61 in White Bear Lake on July 13th. A private party on the 27th. I was not invited to this party, so sorry.
Yes.
August 9th at the Doghouse in Maplewood, and then Trip Fest up there on August 24th.
Good stuff.
Rocktember coming. Here we go. Hinckley, Ace Frehley on Friday night. Steven Adler, Molly Hatchet, Mike Trump of White Lion, Steelheart, Black and Blue.
Okay.
Tommy Thayer's old band. I wonder if he's back with them now, if he's looking for a job.
Boy, good question.
So those last few years with Kiss, he's not exactly check to check. Saturday, Loverboy, Stephen Pearcy, Otto Nova, Vane, Rhino Bucket, Enough's Enough, and Van Halen.
Okay.
Just my opinion on these two lineups. Steven Adler, I don't know why he's that high on the list. I put Molly Hatchet before him.
I agree.
And then the other one, just because I'm a mark, I'd have Stephen Pearcy as the headliner and then Loverboy second. But
Pearcy would be a good show. Saturday's a good show there with the first couple
both nights look really good, but yeah.
That's a good setup right there.
Miles Kennedy is going to be here at the Varsity Theater January 18th. Miles Kennedy. Who the hell's Miles Kennedy, you say? He sings in Slash's band. So there are a lot of Slash's stuff lately.
You've
Miles
mentioned
Kennedy is the lead singer there. Very good. I suggest you listen to him. Don't per se need to do an album review on it, but that's your homework. Listen to some Miles Kennedy this weekend. And Hype, they're going to be at the Summerfield Amphitheater in St. Michael, June 29th. That's Saturday. So 5:30 p.m. the gates open. And the Monty Invasion down in Monticello. We've covered this before. Here's some other ones.
Yeah. Check this
Cobb,
out.
the Korn tribute band. You got to write these names down, Dan, so we get all these people on the show.
Yes.
And One for All, Metallica. They're just starting up. So it's one of their first shows. Hybrid Theory and Linkin Park tribute. Hellion, Judas Priest tribute. As we mentioned, Judas Priest today. I had to put this show on there, or this concert on there. Perfect Circle tribute called Stone and Echo. Cowboys from Hell, the Pantera one. And Made in Minneapolis, Iron Maiden tribute band there. So,
and the Iron Maiden, their lead guitarist is no longer what's his name? He moved to Metallica, but boy, that was good when he was there.
Jimmy, yep.
Jimmy, I'd be interested to see how they are. That Iron Maiden is a good. Made in Minneapolis, very good stuff. But that Metallica is going to be good. Stone Circle. I mean, all these guys. That Monticello is known for doing these things, and they do it. It's an all-day event there.
Yeah, so one day, all those. So yeah, it's not a 3-day event. Then this Saturday at Route 47, Theater of Pain. Had them on for Jeff Green, good guy. Go check them out if you can with Dream Police, a Cheap Trick tribute band. And Friday night, tomorrow night, friend of the program, Mike Schmidt, playing down at Shakopee Bowl.
Wow.
He'll be outside.
And that's going to be outside?
He'll be inside.
Is that going to be inside then?
Yeah, if it's raining, he'll be inside. If it's not, he'll be out.
They'll be in the patio if it's nice. Great location there. Mike Schmidt's always good. Local Shakopee guy.
Yeah, local boy. That's what I got.
Very good guitarist. Does a lot of acoustic sets. Very good lead guitarist as well. And that's it. So that's all I've got for Judas Priest. Good album. The average person is going to know all those songs. The heavy metal fans are going to like them. It may be disinterested a little because it's more commercialized, but it's still Judas Priest. It's still Rob Halford, KK Downing. Still Glenn Tipton. They're still the guys.
The guitar part's still good. It's a little candied up. The vocals are a little candied up, but they're still good. But like I said, it's not your old Priest, Bridge of Steel, Sin After Sin. It's not old school Priest, but it's still good. It's still Priest.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, we'll be back next week with the next show on the next album review. Have a good week.